before West Haven Mall knew her name, Captain Emily Dawson was already a legend in uniform, 20 years on the force. First female SWAT commander in her district. The kind of officer who showed up to every call, rain or riot, and always left with lives saved, not taken. But beneath that badge was something deeper. Humility. No makeup, no ego, no look at me. Just a woman who believed in justice more than titles. Her team respected her, her city trusted her. And today, she wasn't on duty. She was just an aunt, looking for the perfect toy for her nephew's 7th birthday. That's all she wanted. Until West Haven decided to show her what injustice feels like from the other side. The moment Emily walked through the gloss doors of West Haven Mall, she felt eyes on her, not the warm kind. The store guard's whispers, the sideways glances, something shifted. She brushed it off. A police captain doesn't assume, she observes. But by the third aisle of Brightmart Electronics, the tension thickened. A white store manager, red-haired, eyes sharp with prejudice, hovered near the counter, pretending to rearrange watches that didn't need rearranging. Emily smiled politely, just browsing for a gift. The woman didn't smile back. Instead, she whispered to the guard, who started trailing Emily like a shadow. And then, without warning, a hand yanked her shoulder. "Don't move. We saw you slip something in your bag," barked Officer Jake Reynolds, the mall's private cop, his voice slicing through the music. Heads turned. Phones came out. Shoppers froze as Emily's back slammed against the glass display. The sound cracked through the mall like thunder. "Check her bag," the manager yelled. "Thieves like her always play innocent." Her? The words stung sharper than the shove. Emily didn't fight back. She didn't raise her voice. She simply said, calm, deadly calm. "Be very careful with what you're about to do." But arrogance blinded them. And in that moment, West Haven Mall became the stage for their biggest mistake. This is Splendid Tales, where karma doesn't whisper, it roars. If you love stories where the proud fall hard and justice walks in calm, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because what's coming next will leave you speechless. Her back hit the glass again, the sound echoing through the mall like judgment. The crowd watched, some frozen, some filming. But Emily, still calm. Her chest rose steady, her voice low but controlled. "You're making a mistake," she warned. Officer Reynolds smirked. "That's what they all say." The store manager folded her arms, smirking too, enjoying the moment. "People like her always have excuses," she spat, loud enough for the cameras. Emily slowly opened her bag, revealing a single wrapped toy, a receipt, and her police ID she hadn't even mentioned yet. Gasps rippled through the crowd, but arrogance is louder than truth. "Fake ID," Reynolds muttered. "Nice try." And still, Emily didn't snap. She just looked him dead in the eye and said, "I've arrested men for less than what you're doing right now." Phones zoomed in. Tension burned the air. Every second of her restraint only made their cruelty more unbearable and more visible. Because what they didn't know was that someone in that crowd recognized her face, and they were already calling Sergeant Madison Green. Now tell me, if you were Captain Dawson, would you stay silent or make them remember your name? Officer Reynolds strutted like he'd already won, pacing, lecturing, feeding on attention. The store manager stood beside him, chin raised, satisfied with the humiliation she'd caused. But amid the crowd of onlookers, one woman's expression changed. She wasn't recording. She was remembering. Sergeant Madison Green. Different uniform, same department. And she knew that face, not from mugshots or scandals, but from commendation boards and training manuals. Captain Emily Dawson. Madison's pulse spiked. She pushed through the crowd, her radio already in hand. "Dispatch, I need confirmation. Is Captain Dawson off duty today?" The reply came quick. "Yes, Sergeant. Captain Dawson's on personal leave." Her jaw tightened. "Then tell Internal Affairs to stand by. We've got a situation." Back at the store, Reynolds still hadn't realized the storm walking his way. "You think being calm makes you innocent?" he mocked. "You're lucky I don't cuff you right here." Emily lifted her eyes, quiet fire behind them. "You've already done enough damage." And just as she said it, Sergeant Green stepped into view, the look on her face freezing Reynolds mid-sentence. Phones kept recording, unaware that in the next 2 minutes, roles would reverse because justice was no longer coming. It had arrived. This is Splendid Tales, where truth always finds its moment. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because what happens next will remind you power means nothing without accountability. Now tell me, have you ever seen arrogance crumble in real time? The mall had gone silent. Only the low hum of phone cameras filled the air as Sergeant Madison Green stepped forward. Her tone was sharp enough to cut through pride. "Officer Reynolds," she said, flashing her badge. "Step away from her. Now." Reynolds frowned, confused. "She's a suspect, Sergeant." "That's Captain Emily Dawson, your superior officer." The words detonated through West Haven Mall like a grenade. Gasps erupted. The store manager's smirk vanished. Even the guards froze, unsure if they were still breathing. Emily slowly stepped forward, brushing glass shards off her sleeve, death her calm more terrifying than rage. "You just assaulted a decorated police captain on camera," she said softly. "You didn't even ask for ID." Madison turned to the stunned crowd. "Everyone keep your recordings. Internal Affairs will need every second." Phones lifted higher. Reynolds' face drained of color as Madison stripped the badge from his chest. "You're suspended pending investigation," she said coldly. "Effective immediately." The manager tried to stammer an apology, but Emily simply looked at her and said, "Save it for court." As Emily walked out of West Haven Mall, the same crowd that once whispered now parted with silent respect. Karma had spoken, and this time it came with proof. This is Splendid Tales, where pride meets its mirror and truth always wins in the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories that hit where it hurts and heals where it matters. Now tell me, what would you do if the person you humiliated turned out to be the one who writes your fate? Until next time, this is Splendid Tales, where every downfall is earned and every comeback is unforgettable.